Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you another fantastic episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right. What we do here is we take the spotlight and put it on one wrestling fan that we feel stands out from the rest. With that being said, in one corner we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures, such as dressing up as one of the Road Warriors and picking fights with random people, or sometimes she dresses up as the big boss man and gives people hard time for petty crimes. And what she wants all of you unknowing, uninformed people to do is sit down and watch how a podcaster hosts a podcast. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. And the second corner we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 4 continents down, 2 more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have a special guest tonight who is actually not only a fellow wrestling fan, but she loves brutality and she loves to see people get eradicated in the square circle. If you're catching on, she's an avid Rhea Ripley fan. Everybody, welcome to the show, Mami Berry. How you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Great to hear. Great to hear. Thank you very much for agreeing to be on our show. We always look forward to talking to fellow wrestling fans, and it's always a great thing to speak to people that enjoy the same thing that we do. And we're actually very excited as well. We apologize for we know we were supposed to have you on earlier this week, but some of us, we had stuff to do. Some of us were feeling down on the weather, and when we actually have guests on, we like to give them our utmost best, our 100%. So we don't want to be on here like, yeah, welcome to Ringside Society. How you doing today? I don't mind me. I'm fighting a cold. I'm fighting a headache or something. So we want to make sure we're 100% for you. So thank you for your patience and
Yeah,
welcome to
you're
Ringside
welcome.
Society.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So I just got to ask, I always ask, the majority of our guests that we have on the show, how did it all start for you? How did you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Okay, so this is a funny story. Um, I was sitting one day at a dinner table and I was eating my dinner, and my in-laws at the time had, I believe, was SmackDown when Rhea first got into WWE, I believe, and um. I just happened to look up and I just saw her, and I'm wondering who she is, and it said it was Rhea Ripley, and I was like, hmm, nice. And so I started checking her out more, and I actually hopped on to Twitter, and and I actually met some people who knew her, and so I kept learning more and finding out about her more, and I just liked her determination is insane. Like, I've never seen someone so determined in my life when I met Rhea. And if I honestly never would have seen Rhea, I don't think I would be the person I am today because of her. Because she's taught me not to care what anyone thinks. You know, just don't care about other people. Just do what you have to do as a person yourself. And she's very uplifting of people. She loves all her fans and she loves what she does. But, you know, when since that first day I saw her on SmackDown, I just instantly fell in love with her. She I just I just love her wrestling style, and I like how she is as a person when she's outside of the ring, cuz she's entirely a different person. And I love that so much for her.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great that she could actually inspire you to, just be yourself and, don't care what anybody else thinks. And, it's always great to have that person, give you that motivation. And Rhea is a great example of that because I mean, I'm sure we've all seen her, evolution from being the young blonde that a lot of people compared to Charlotte Flair. They were like, "You
Mm,
and Charlotte, you guys are like twins and whatnot." And then all of a sudden, you see her go from she cuts the hair, and then she gets the tattoos, and then she dyes the hair, and she looks
hmm
completely different. And that's her. So, and people still love her for that. She still pushes. As a matter of fact, funny thing is now that she's become herself, she's actually pushing merch now. She's her merch, according to Cody Rhodes I don't know if you watch Stephanie's Place, which is a 10 series, I guess a 10 series sitcom where she actually goes and visits wrestlers, and they sit down and talk about their life in pro wrestling and everything. And she said that she talked to Cody, which was the episode before that, and she said, yeah, Cody was like, yeah, Rhea Ripley beats him in merch sales. So that's great that just by being herself, all that has
hmm
happened for her.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving this for her. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at 28, she's accomplished a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm pretty proud of her. And I'm getting ready to be 28 on Monday.
Oh,
but
cool.
but she's came a long way from NXT to SmackDown to Raw, and her pops every time she comes out, the pops are insane. Like, I have gone to several shows personally, and um every time she came out, those pops were insane. Like, they were loud, and you hearing it um hearing it live is entirely different than watching it on the TV.
Oh yeah.
And it's a heck of a lot louder. But
Imagine. Have you been to WrestleMania yet?
I have not. I do plan to. I was gonna go to the one in Philadelphia, but that's about 4 or 5 hours away, so it's not that far. And
Okay.
I was gonna go just so I could say that I went, but um I couldn't afford it at the time. So I'm planning to go one day when they're close by again.
Well, I don't know if this is close by for you, but they'll be in Louisiana next year.
Hmm.
Um, if you could make it, that's great. New Orleans. I know Kathy has a big smile on her face right now because she's like, yes, everything is in my neck of the woods, and I can't wait to enjoy it. Which, and I'm gonna try to make I'm gonna try to make it there too. But if you do, it's a great experience. I'm actually gonna go. Gonna go to the one in Vegas. I'm gonna try to make the one in Vegas. I gotta see how these tickets look first. I haven't bought the tickets yet, but I know it could be pricey. Trust me. Last year wasn't easy. Last year I was like, why am I doing this? But then I was like, it's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. He's gonna finish the story. It's the Rock getting involved. It's Seth Rollins getting involved. It's seeing, the Deadlies, which are Rhea Ripley's fan base, versus
Hmm.
the Mosh Pit. It's watching their favorite wrestlers go head to head in the ring. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's probably gonna hurt my pockets, but I'm gonna do it. It's a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm glad I did. I met so many cool people there. But if you ever get a chance, it's unlike any other thing you've experienced as a wrestling fan. So if you get a chance, definitely do it. I was in Philadelphia, and it was the only thing about Philadelphia. And it's a good thing you didn't go. We were freezing outside.
Mm.
Like I was up in the nosebleeds. And let me tell you, the second night wasn't bad, but that first night, I wish I had some hand warmers. I was like, man, when is this match gonna end? And this is me during the Cody and what was it Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman match. I'm like, oh, when's this thing gonna end? When's this thing gonna end? Like I can't, I can't wait to go home, man. It's cold out here. It's freezing.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was a great experience. Definitely a great experience.
Awesome.
So go ahead.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I've I've also gone fond of Tiffany Stratton as well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm always annoying with my husband, and I'm always going, "It's Tiffy time!" every single time, and he just he looks so annoyed at me every single time. And he's like, "No, you Tiffany Stratton, and you saying that's just like having a Barbie doll." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "No, you just need to keep your Rhea style," and I was just like, "Okay."
Does he watch
But
wrestling too, or does he just like, yeah, he watches it here and there?
um he does watch it with me because he does like CM Punk. That's his favorite. And
Okay.
I remember I think it was the Royal Rumble last year. I could be wrong. Please correct me. And of when everything was said and done, and then CM Punk came back after 10 years. So, I mean, I never saw my husband that happy before until CM Punk came back. And I was like, I was like crying. I was like, I'd never seen my husband that happy. And so, and that man was crying because CM Punk came back. And I was like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people were having a range of emotions, mostly positive when CM Punk, came back to WWE. I mean, he left on such a high note, and like people were just wondering if he'd ever be back and so on. So I could imagine the range of emotions that they had as well. So did you ever get to meet like Tiffany Stratton or Rhea Ripley like in person?
gosh, a woman can dream. But no, I have not. But um, whenever she is close, it's mainly because I live in Virginia and they hardly ever come to Virginia, especially where I am. So it
Okay.
would be more like Norfolk, Fairfax. So I'd have to travel, which I mean, it's not that far. It's like 1 to 2 hours. So it's not that bad. But um, no, whenever she comes close, I will. I definitely plan on meeting her. Um, I think the closest I've came to meeting her was when I went to Fairfax and I didn't have enough money for VIP tickets, so I just kind of was just hanging out. And then somebody told me, he's like, "Did you get VIP tickets?" I was like, "No, I couldn't afford it." He's like, "Well, you can go in the back of the building, and that's where they're coming in at." And I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." I saw Bailey. Um, oops. I saw Bailey. I saw Bianca. I seen Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, um, all of the Alpha Academy. Um, I can't really remember all who else I've seen, but I also saw. I was, and I didn't know until after. I was actually standing right next to Asuka's bus too, and I didn't know that until after the fact, and I was like, "Darn." Oh well. And then I was, I had my hair was shorter at the time and I was completely dressed like Rhea. And I'm standing there in the back and she comes in a little truck and I was like, "Yeah, that's Rhea. I don't expect her to come in a car. I expect her to come in a truck." Like she is a truck girl and um I spotted her actually before anybody else did and I said, "Oh my god, it's Rhea." And then, I went to where like the little barricade was and I saw her and Dominic Mysterio with her and um I'd have to say in person, like seeing her, even though she was like a little bit of ways, but she was close enough. Like that woman is absolutely gorgeous. Like without all her ring gear on and her just being all natural and her just coming in like her, she is absolutely beautiful. Like I um I've been to a lot of concerts. I've seen a lot of famous people, but when it compares to Rhea, it blows everything out of the water because she's beautiful. Like she is my biggest inspiration, and she's made me, a better person, a better wife, a better mother, and all that stuff. And she's gotten me out of like really dark situations that I was in, and just watching her all the way through, it's helped me a lot. I would not be who I am without Rhea. And I'm always posting on Twitter about her and interacting with people. I've met some great people too. And I've made a lot of progress since I met her. But I would have to say one of my biggest best friends, probably on Twitter, would be her username is So Fresh and Colleen. She is adorable.
Okay.
Love, love, love her.
Wow, that's cool. That's maybe if she's a wrestling fan, hey, let her know. I mean, we wouldn't mind having her on here. You
Right.
know, talk about some wrestling and so on. So you and Rhea are actually the same age. Wow, that's cool. I'll tell you what, if you decide to become a pro wrestling, let us know. We'll have you on here. Once you've had your debut match. I don't know if you know this other person, Kathy. I know you know her, but we had Miranda Keys on here, who's actually
Yes.
she's currently training to be a wrestler. So we told her, like, hey, when you get your debut, when you have your debut, let us know, and we'll have you on after that match, to talk about your experience and so on. So,
Yeah. I've been watching her progress, and I call her my Twitter wifey because I absolutely love her.
hmm,
Um, she recently got a gift from Buddy and Rhea um on her birthday, so that was really cute. And her personality is adorable. Like I love her unhingedness. I really, really do. And she is just an overall great person. Like she's so sweet.
yeah, I wish her all the best. I'm glad that she's pursuing wrestling, because anybody could be a fan, but once you decide to say to yourself, hey, you know something, I'm gonna try to become a wrestler myself. And
Mm,
then you go and you do it the right way. You go to wrestling school and you learn and you train, and then next thing you know, okay, boom, now you're having your matches, and now you're traveling all over the country, if not all over the world.
mm,
You can't I can't help but admire people like those. I mean, we've had, it's funny. We had Izzy. I don't know if you remember Izzy Moreno. She was on this same show as a
mm.
15 minutes of fandom guest, and now she's a champion for Mission Pro Wrestling over in Texas. And she just got contacted by WWID to, I think, maybe to be in a match or something with a WWID, somebody who's in the program. So it just goes to show you never know who's going to be who. You know, uh,
Right.
Ro- Roxanne Perez, believe it or not, was on this show too, and boom, it's only now she's in WB. She's going to be a big thing on the main roster. So you never know who's going to be who.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I just got two more questions before Kathy takes over. So my second to last question. If you could meet Rhea Ripley right now, what would your words be? I know you'd be probably be nervous, and it's okay, because when I met Marty Jannetty, who was one of my first favorite wrestlers. He's like way back in like from like the '90s. I was
Right.
like, I was words were just coming out, and I don't normally like go crazy when I meet wrestlers because you know I do this. So I mean, I'm around them like a lot, so you get used to it. But when I met him, I was like, yo, Marty, you were my first favorite wrestler, man. Like you and Sean, you guys were my first favorite tag team, and I've only had like three favorite tag teams in all my fandom of wrestling, and I just couldn't contain myself when I met Marty Jannetty, and I got a
Right.
picture with him and everything. But what would your reaction be if you were to meet Rhea Ripley or Tiffany Stratton in person? Like, what would you say?
um well, if I were to personally sorry, I'm trying to turn on my power strip. Oh, because my phone's dying. Darn it. Okay. Anyway, I would probably, if I met Rhea, honestly, first thing I would probably do is probably cry because I mean she has done a lot for me and I love her. But in all honesty, the probably the first thing that would come out of my mouth was thank you, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't be the woman I am if it wasn't for her, and I wouldn't have had you know a happy marriage that I have if it wasn't for her. So I would probably thank her for coming into my life when I absolutely needed it, because I really needed somebody to really straighten me out because I was in a bad relationship and this, that, and the fourth. And then just Rhea, just having her just kind of made it fly everywhere. So I've became more successful in my life. So I would probably tell her that just first thing would just be thank you. And I am so glad that you are my idol. And, you know, I hope you have, more goals and success that you want to reach. And I hope she achieves them. And um, that she needs to chop Buddy a little bit one more time.
Oh, I saw that. Oh, I saw that. That video, the Nestle Crunch, and he was like, ah.
Yes.
It's too funny. He's another one. Actually, I really hope they actually I really hope they actually end up pushing Buddy. I know he's over in AEW, but I hope he ends up getting. I know he's injured right now, but I hope that when he comes back, it's the evolution of Buddy Matthews, because I know that he can definitely go. And if Tony Khan is a smart man, if the powers that be are smart people, they will definitely push that man. I mean, that's what I would do if I see Rhea Ripley over in WWE doing big things. I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do with her husband. Let's see if we can make him a marketing guy. Let's see,
Right.
what he has going on. So my last question, I know Kathy's chomping at a bit right now. So my last question
Mm.
is: WrestleMania is coming up. WrestleMania is actually next weekend. It's a short time. Besides Rhea Ripley's match, what match are you looking forward to seeing? Um, or what matches are you looking forward to are you looking forward to seeing on the card?
Um. Well, besides like the one you said with Rhea, Bianca, and Io, I would have to say probably the Roman, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, and then I'd have to say Naomi and Jay Cargill, because I do favor Jay Cargill as well. Um,
Okay.
I didn't know her from NXT, but when she came in, I can't remember which one she was on, but when she came in, it was just her aurora was insane. Like
Mm,
I fell in love with her. Like her energy was very powerful because I feel off people's energy, and her energy was skyrocket. It was insane. And I'd have to say, even though they both said it already, I'd have to say my dream match is probably Rhea and Jay Cargill. I feel like those two. would be really, really good. And because they're
Mm.
both dominant women, so it would be a new challenge for Rhea and a new challenge for Jade. So I feel like it would be a pretty cool match.
Wow. Yeah. I'm looking. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually, and I think that match is gonna feed families. I think the one with Jade and Bianca, when that happens, it's gonna feed families. It's those are gonna be the two instant classics right there. Just the showdown is gonna be just a showdown for those matches are gonna be instant classics. So um
Yes.
once again, and I believe, I don't know if I'm correct, but I'm seeing a certain something here, and is is it your birthday today?
Not yet. On Monday, the
Oh, okay.
14th is my birthday.
All right. Well, happy birthday in advance. I hope you I hope you live it up and make it a memorable one.
Thank
And
you.
and I hope Rhea Ripley and Buddy Matthews, they send you something too. Even if it's a happy birthday and whatnot. So, I wish you nothing but the best. Okay. I'm gonna turn it
Thank
over.
you.
I'm gonna turn it over to Kathy. I know Kathy's. She's been waiting anxiously. Kathy, go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks, Remy. What's up, Mama Berry? How's it going today?
It's going. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So,
It's good.
Mommy Berry, we know Mommy comes from Rhea. Where does Berry come from?
Okay, so I love telling this story. Um, it was Rhea tweeted one day, and she had it was a little strawberry, and she I love this woman to death. She turned around and said it looked like her ass. So I was like, okay. And she named it the Mami Berry. And I was like, okay, you know what? I really like that username. And it stuck to me ever since then. And ever since I changed it to Mami Berry, my profile kind of just skyrocketed since I did that. And I've met some really cool people. And I learned a lot about Rhea and her life, and her life with Buddy, and when she uh, goes live with Buddy and the on Twitch with the House of Buddy, and I'm always on there, and they have answered my questions before, and I think the one that actually made them laugh the most was when I asked her her chicken and rice recipe, and she said it. They said it was a store bought, and she it's just chicken and rice, and that was it. And then Marissa, um, she commented it. Is it seasoned? And then they just kind of just busted out laughing after that. So I thought it was funny that her and I kind of made them laugh, so it made my night. And but I don't think it's gonna compare to when Rio chops Buddy when he had the sunburn. So I don't think it'll compare to that.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. I was gonna ask if you were on Buddy's Twitch. I haven't been there yet, but I see like the clips from Marissa and like Olivia and a couple other people. Miranda's another big Rhea fan, so I follow them on Twitter, and I see like what happens in there. I need to hop in there one day and join. But that's pretty cool. So she you haven't physically met her, you've seen her in person, but she's noticed you. You have on Twitch. Is it Mommy Berry there too?
Yes.
So she
Oh,
probably laughed when she saw it, the name.
yeah, she probably did.
That's funny. Yeah, I must have missed that tweet of hers, but that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I think I. So you had said your story about when you became a Rhea fan. I can't exactly pinpoint. I guess maybe I could, but like in time, I can't remember exactly when I became a fan. I saw her in the Mae Young Classic. She still had the blonde hair and everything, and then she was in NXT UK, and I think I want to say I started becoming a fan when she tag teamed with Liv. I think that's where I want to pinpoint that part. But I
Yeah,
knew
that.
of her before, and I was like, I was a fan of Liv, and I'd kind of seen Rhea, but I wasn't quite a fan yet. And I think it's when they tag team that's when I started becoming a fan of hers. And then when she changed her hair black, and then she went in the Judgment Day, I was like, okay, like she hooked me there.
Mm.
So it's kind of, I mean, I've seen her whole, I didn't really watch NXT too much, but I did see like the Mae Young Classic. So I knew of her, but then there's like a certain point where I become fans of wrestlers, and I can usually remember, but I think that's exactly like, I think it was when she got together with Liv, because I was already a fan of Liv's. And then I was like, okay. And then she was in the Judgment Day, she changed her hair black, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm a big fan now.
Yeah.
There was a
Right.
point. Now I'm kind of worried because like Remy mentioned, WrestleMania is in New Orleans next year, and I'm actually 2 hours away from New Orleans. I live in Louisiana, so I'm all excited to like go to the meet and greets and stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm nervous to meet Rhea because I don't know if I'll be able to, because they keep, she sells out so quickly. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm seeing stuff from Fanatics for this year, and I'm like, oh God, like I should have.
Yes.
I even tweeted that. I was like, I should have met her. So before it was Fanatics, there was another place called Fitterman, and they
Mm-hmm.
would do the same company. It was like Fitterman Sports. They bring wrestlers in. You do the meet and greets and stuff. Well, they had it. They would do it in Houston, and Houston's about a 4 hour drive for me to get there from Louisiana. So Liv was there and Big E was there. Rhea was there too, but I met Liv and I met Big E. And Rhea had, I think she had just joined the Judgment Day. Her hair was slicked back, it was black. But I didn't have any Rhea gear, didn't have anything for her to sign. I didn't have any figures yet, nothing like that. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna just meet Liv and Big E. Cause let's face it, all these meet and greets are pretty expensive if you get two or three or four, maybe even sometimes one is really expensive, depends on who you're meeting. So I was like, man, but like I still kick myself. I'm like, I'm kind of sweating. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to meet her next year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I do, but I'm like, come on, please, like don't sell out, because I get nervous. Like I got like ticket PTSD with these things, because
Yes.
one time I was supposed to meet Finn, actually when WrestleMania was 34, when it was in New Orleans the last time. So they have VIP, they have WWE World now, but back then it was Access. So you had to get like VIP tickets for certain people. Balor was one of them. And
Mm.
my ticket ended up scanning. It said VIP, but it scanned as general admission. They had this big mix up on, like, it was on a Saturday. I still remember what day it was. And like Braun Strowman, his tickets were all messed up. And so I said all that to say, like, I never met Finn up until there was another Access when WrestleMania was in Dallas. I finally got to meet him. So like this whole tickets make me nervous because that's what happened to me before. So I'm like, oh, I hope I get to meet Rhea. But yeah, I think that's when I became a fan of hers, was when she was with Liv. They started tag teaming, so like that's pretty cool. And then
Yeah.
like, did you watch Stephanie's Places? I know Remy had mentioned it, where
Um.
she they show her as when she had the blonde hair, and then they show like her transformation, and she was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm finally in my skin, like I feel comfortable being
Mm.
myself.
Yeah. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet, but I've seen like bits and pieces on Twitter that everybody posts. So I've seen little snippets of it. But I'll probably check it out as soon as I get off here because I need to watch it. And Rhea's probably gonna red type me because I've been slacking. So but no, but I have not watched it yet. But it's on my planner to finally watch it because I mean Rhea, I could just tell she got really emotional when she was talking about you know how she started to where she is now. So I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. I'll probably start crying because she's, on the verge of crying. I'm just like, And I just want to be like, no, Rhea, come here. Let me give you a hug. Don't cry. No, no, don't cry. But yeah, when you were talking about her and Liv, it was living for brutality, the
Yeah.
LB4,
Yep.
and I was like, I didn't discover them in that era. I wish I did, but I didn't, and kicking myself in the hind for that. But I thought those two were cute as a tag team, and I thought it was funny um when they had all like the uh lingerie on, the leather, and I think the funny story behind that is pretty funny because they went into a sex shop and they bought that stuff. And I was like, they totally would.
Well, it worked because I remember watching it and I was like, "Ooh, boy." They looked
Yes,
really good.
yes, especially Rhea. Oh my goodness. Rhea looks so good. And I discovered Rhea in her mommy poppy era. And oh my God, with her, that slick back hair and that little poppy attitude, yes. Like, I instantly fell in love with her. I was like, yes, Rhea, you are my girl. I love you. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely watch Steph's Places because it's a good episode. Not gonna give too. Well, you probably saw a couple of stuff. Like it's pretty cool with that episode. Um, yeah, and then she says we had talked about it before, and Remy talked about it too. Like she had the blonde hair, and she'd hide her face, and she was embarrassed about. And there's other stuff too. I think she did a few years ago. She did an interview with Lillian Garcia, and she talked about how she grew up, and she was there's like others things that she did to herself, self-harm and stuff like that, because she didn't think she was worthy enough or good enough and stuff like that, and it's just like heartbreaking. But there's a couple of people, like another one. I'm a big Paige fan, Soraya Page,
Oh
and
yeah.
she kind of had the same thing too. Like she had the black hair, like she had dyed her hair black. She was herself, but she says
Mhm.
like the first time WWE came to see her, to scout her out, she put blonde. She dyed her hair blonde. She did all the stuff she thought was a diva, and then she actually, on the second time she got hired, and because she was herself, and
Mhm.
like she became the anti diva and stuff like that. And it's like, be yourself, don't be a copy, and it's okay to be yourself. You should be yourself, that kind of thing,
Mhm.
because it's authentic. And the more authentic you are, like not just in WWE but in life, like people see that, and
Mhm.
they can tell if you're fake, and they don't want you to be fake. So like, be yourself, you know just don't be somebody else. Don't be a copy. Like I said, like you got to be yourself, and people flock to that, and because they can see authenticity, they see realness. And usually they say, the wrestling characters are just themselves turned up to 10. So like
Right.
Rhea, I'm sure Rhea's a sweetheart. You see it in person. You see her character and stuff. It's just her turned up to 10.
Mhm.
But even she's human like the rest of us. Like she for WrestleMania last year, she actually had a panic attack before her match with Becky.
Mhm.
Becky had strep throat. She had like 102 fever, and she's out there in for WrestleMania, and they put on like a great match.
They did.
Yeah, and I mean that just shows you like how human they are. Like Rhea had a panic attack before she came out, and then Motionless and White, they performed her music, and she got right back. Like the Rhea clicked, like from herself to Rhea. It just she like, the nerves went away, and
Yeah.
she turned it on. She did her thing. So
Yep. Because there was a lot of people were talking to her, like CM Punk kind of gave her. pep talk. He's like, as soon as you walk out there, you're gonna be a completely different person. You're gonna forget all your problems, everything like that. Like, just be yourself. Like, you can do this. Like, you got this. And I was like, that is the cutest thing ever. And like, I feel for Rhea because I've gone through major things in my life, and I also have had anxiety to it. And I feel for Rhea because I used to do the self-harming. I felt like I wasn't myself, and I just felt like I was just some girl trapped in somebody's body that wasn't me. So as I got older, because I used to have the long blonde hair, and when I got older, I cut my hair, I dyed it black, and I felt more like myself, and I even felt even more like myself when I discovered Rhea. So she kind of kicked off my whole personality. She made me open up more, and she made me, be myself more. Like, she's like, I can't really hate on her at all, because there's honestly no reason for me to, because she's helped me through a lot, and all the hate that I see on Twitter of her, I mainly just ignore it, because Rhea really doesn't need to see all that mess. So I just kind of just ignore it and just see her happy, positive side, and um how her and Buddy relationship is going, and seeing their lives, and I just like seeing her overall happy. It's like, I don't nobody wants Rhea upset. And but some of the stuff on Twitter, it's crazy, but um I'm just learning how to just ignore it all, and just stay positive and keep positive thoughts around. So Rhea needs those kinds of people, and I'm hoping I am one of those people that lifts her up, makes her happy when she's having a bad day. If she ever gets around to seeing it, or she's seeing it, because she does see all. But I'm just hoping that she comes across my tweets sometimes and makes her smile, makes her happy. Could be having a bad day, and me just uh posting about thirst traps and everything else like that, that it just makes her go, "Ugh," it makes her happy. So I just hope she is happy coming across my tweets and stuff. And um but yeah, that's my main goal on Twitter. It's just for her to be happy and having a good day, and just uplifting her, and always going to cheer her on, and always going to be in her corner. So I'm always going to be with Rhea, no matter what.
Yeah. She says she sees all the tweets. I'm like, has she seen mine? Because I don't get like a like from her or anything. But yeah, I'd be kind of haunt, as they say. I'd be kind of scared if she saw, embarrassed if she saw mine. Because I'll
she
say silly stuff. I'm like, stare a hole into me in my soul. Silly
yes,
stuff like that.
yes, yes. But she does say she does see all, she just doesn't have time to get to everybody, but she does see them.
Yeah, I
So
don't I don't tag her in anything. I'd be too embarrassed, but I'm not. She probably sees it and just rolls her eyes or whatever. But yeah, Twitter can be a toxic place, and it's toxic for all of us, including wrestlers, especially wrestlers. So
mhm,
hopefully they see the good stuff more than the bad stuff. So
exactly. 'Cause that's
hopefully, yeah, she's got a big fan base. So yeah, and she's starting to know 'em, like being familiar with everybody, like
mhm,
Marissa and Miranda, and there's one, Olivia is another one.
mhm.
There's like a lot of people she's familiar with, and
Wait
it's
a minute.
really cool to see.
Does Marissa go by Heart of Stone, and does Olivia go by what does Olivia
Olivia's
go?
I think Olivia's that mullet bitch or something like
Uh-huh.
that. Something about
Oh,
a mullet. Yeah.
I don't know
Yep.
her.
Yeah, Marissa's a heart of stone.
Oh, I've seen her around.
Yeah, her and her girlfriend. Her girlfriend's an artist. She
Okay.
draws a lot of Rhea stuff, which she's
Yes.
really talented. It's really cool to see.
Well,
Cadavere? Cadavere. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
well, perhaps we should have them on the show, and just we do things like that. Sometimes, if
yeah.
it's funny. The criteria for 15 minutes of fandom, it's like sometimes like you don't have to be the most popular fan. You could just be a person that we see. You just do a cool drawing. Hey, that's a cool drawing. Let's talk about our 15 minutes of fandom. Wait, that's your
Mm-hmm.
name? Like we had a guy called Jimmy Bebe on here, and it's like that name sounds cool. That's your name. Let's have you. Like, we want to talk. Let's have you on the show. It's just sometimes the person just have a cool sound name. We just have them on the show. I mean, there's no particular criteria. It's just once you're not a dirtbag or anything, we're good. But yeah,
Right. Right. I totally get that. But yeah, Marissa actually follows me on Twitter. She's funny too. Like,
Yeah, she's hilarious.
yeah, I was happy that, Rio followed her and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then she followed me. I was like, nice, that's really cool too. But yeah, I like Marissa, I like Olivia, I like Miranda and Cadaver. Um, I like all of them. They're all really sweet people, and they kind of helped me with my Twitter too. So I found the right people I needed to follow. So because they're all filled with positivity. There's rarely any negative on my Twitter end, at least. I don't know how it is for everybody else, but yeah, they're all sweet and funny people. Like with Cadaver with Dominic Mysterio, like that's her man. You cannot diss her man in front of her. She will cook you. Like do not talk bad about her Dominic Mysterio. Like that is her man right there.
Well, speaking of that, gives a good segue because I had a question. What did you think about Rhea and Dom? And the second part is, do you think Rhea and Jay should get together?
Um, well, I did like Rhea and Dominic. I did like that because, you know, Rhea was always there for him. All the time she was there for him. Always took care of him, you know, even helped him with his matches sometimes, but sometimes he was like, you can do it. I believe in you. Like you can do this and you know, but when SummerSlam came around, like I'd have to say that that tore me up because I'm sitting there like with my hands like over my face and I'm sitting there. I'm like, don't you do it, Dom. Don't you do it. And then he did it. I just immediately started crying. Like, immediately. I don't know why. I just did. And I'm over there seeing Rhea, like, all upset. And I cried even more. And then he left with Liv. And I turned it off. I was so heated. But, I had to turn it back on because I wanted to see what else happened. But, um, I mean, that that was the biggest probably breakup that I've ever dealt with that actually made me emotional. Like I've seen a lot of them, and that one mainly tore me up. But I would love to see her and Jay together. I need Jaya to happen. Okay, I need Jaya. But they're Jay's opening up his new potential and Rhea's building hers, so I kind of want them to see where they go on their own first and let them build themselves up and then start a storyline with Rhea and Jay. And I need it to happen. Like I personally love it, but I rather see Rhea kind of hit the top on her own, and the same for Jay. So I kind of just want them to be on their own for right now. But once they accomplish where they go, I'd love for them to be together. They would be so cute.
Yeah, they feed us crumbs here and there. They kind of sprinkle a little bit. Like
Hmm.
they just did one with a yeet and no yeet, like a little interview. I saw that on Twitter. Uh, they
Yeah.
they asked her pineapple on pizza. She says yeet, and then Jay says no yeet, and she looks at him like, "Boy,
Yeah, you don't
you
know
don't
what's
like pineapple on
good.
pizza."
Right.
Yeah, so did you have an inkling? You said like you cried for SummerSlam. Did you think he was gonna turn and go with Liv, or were you surprised?
Honestly, I was surprised, but my husband was like, he's gonna turn on her. And I'm like, don't say that. Do not say that. And he was like, well, because she forgave him too fast. And I was like, and I thought about it and I was like, mm. But I just still trying to keep my positive thoughts and keep my faith in Rhea. And, but yeah, when he turned around, picked up the title, and turned around and gets Liv Morgan, that threw me completely off, and I just started bawling. And my husband was like, "See, I told you, but it's gonna be okay." And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No, I'm never gonna forgive Dominic Mysterio for this. Like, absolutely not." But I mean, I still love Dominic, regardless of what he did to Rhea. But I still like my Dominic Mysterio, even though he's with Liv. I'd rather him be on his own personally. But um yeah, that tore me up. Like mentally and emotionally, that tore me up. So I was like, damn. Now I have
Yeah,
to heal from this.
that happens sometimes, especially with your
Yeah.
favorites. I remember, so I'm a big Paige fan, like I said earlier, and she had a match with Nikki Bella, and it
Mm,
was Money in the Bank. I think it was like 2014, 2015, something like that. And the Bella twins used to do, they're twins, so they do this twin magic. They switch.
mm-hmm.
So Paige ended up pinning Brie, and this was gonna be the third time she won the Divas Championship. Well, she didn't win because it was Brie, and Brie's showing her like, "Hey, I'm Brie. You pinned me, and you didn't pin Nikki." So like, I'm not. I don't get too mad for wrestling. I don't try not to take it too seriously. But that day, I like punched myself. I was mad. So
Right.
I mean, we get emotional with our favorites and stuff like that. So it does happen. But
Mhm.
yeah, Dom's wife is a saint, I think, because I
Mhm.
know I know it's all storyline. He's with Liv and he was with Rhea, but like, and his wife's nothing to sneeze at either. Like she's gorgeous too. So it's like
Mhm.
Dom is winning in life. He's got his wife, he had Rhea, and he had Liv too.
Yes, yes, yes. But I always make fun of Dominic because I say he fumbled the baddie because he had Rhea, and now he's with Liv Morgan, and now his chicken tendies are going to be dry with no ranch, okay? Because when he was with Rhea, they were thick and juicy and always warm, and she always had the ranch and even gave him extra ranch. He had it good with Rhea. Okay, and now his chicken nuggets are all dry. So
Okay, 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 okay. Did I hear right?
Remy's face, he just like
This is okay. This is the first time I've ever heard a white woman, and I'm not racist, people, but this is the first time I ever heard a white woman actually tell another white woman to say, "Oh, her food's gonna be unseasoned and it's gonna have no taste." Wow, somebody's been to a cookout. Let me find out. I mean, I expect that from Kathy because I know Kathy's been around the block. She's been to cookouts, carne asadas, whatever the Asian community has for their celebration. But oh wow, this caught me off guard. But I needed that.
Yeah. But I've I've always been like that, and I don't know why. It's just who I am. I don't know. I like my food with flavor, okay? I
Yes, you
don't
have
like it
to.
bland. I don't like that. Like I no, when I make chicken and stuff, that is seasoned well. I promise. And if it's not, I'm going back in there and putting more seasoning on it. I don't care. I
Wow,
like
well, I can imagine. What do you season this with? Oh, I put salt and pepper. Boy, if you don't get back in there and put that real seasoning on it, over here giving
yes,
me salt and pepper.
yes. Yes, I do that to my husband. You know, and I'll ask him. He's like, "Hey, what did you season with?" I'm like, "This." I'm like, "Well, it needs this. It needs this. It needs this. It needs this." And he's just like, "Okay, I'll just let you do it." I'm like, "Okay." And then it comes out, and I do it. It comes out 10 times better than he did it. So
Don't feel
yeah.
bad. Don't feel bad. I'm black and I could actually swim. So hey, there you go.
I feel that. I mean, I've always been told. Yeah, I don't know why I don't see it, but I have always been told all my life that I am literally a black woman in a white woman's body. I've always been told that and I don't know why. But
It's okay. I see Kathy has curly hair for some reason. I'm trying my best to drag her. I'm gonna have to give her a tranquilizer dart because she puts up a fight. But I'm gonna have to either put her in some kind of like prison and then just get some hair strand. I'm convinced she got a little bit of black too. Let me find out.
you're right.
I'm watching you, Kathy. You gotta be trying to be sneaky with the Tyler Perry movies. I'm watching you.
Oh.
So speaking of your husband, you said that he's a big CM Punk fan, and he had a big reaction to CM Punk's return. Did he watch CM Punk in AEW?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm probably sure he probably did. Um, I know he watched him all the way up till the first time he left to 10 years later, him coming back at the Royal Rumble last year. I think it was last year, or was a year before that.
I think it might have been 2023 because he had an injury, and it was Survivor Series when he returned.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't quite
Yeah,
remember. But, yeah, I mean, when his music hit, like, this dude, like, flipped. I never seen him move so fast in his life. I mean, I like CM Punk too. Um I liked him, and I remember when him and AJ were starting to get together, and I was like, yes, I needed this. And it was kind of funny because I have a little funny story for you, and I think it was. Think it was around the time I got married to him. I don't quite remember exactly. I can't pinpoint it. But he's like, you're crazy, and I'm just like, excuse me. And then he pulls the CM Punk on me, and then he's like, you know what? But I dig the crazy chicks. I'm like, get out my face. Leave me alone.
you
Get
became
away.
his AJ Lee.
Yeah.
You're his version of it of her.
Yep.
That's funny.
But I'd have to say I am more. If you were to put Rhea and Jade together, that's me. Like that's my personality right there. You put Rhea and Jade together, yeah, that's me. I'm not scared to say anything. Like, I mean, most of the time I don't really like drama. I don't tolerate it. I'll post on Twitter like here and there, like, hey, I'll just say this and this is the last I'm saying it, and I move on with my life, and I don't even look back. I just keep going because I don't do all none of that drama stuff. So um, I just kind of, just like I mentioned before, just keep it positive. Always uplifting Rhea, talking, to friends, meeting new people. Because I meet a lot of people, so I've made a lot of friends on there. I enjoy it because it's my space and I can be myself when it comes to that. And I found the right people, and so I actually enjoy being on Twitter now, um, and watching Rhea evolve into to the woman that she is today. Because when I first started my Twitter, and I used to I didn't really have that much people. I had maybe about 300, something like that, and it wasn't. I got Rhea like right when she was at the peak of switching from NXT to SmackDown, I believe. She was in between that transition. And I used to be in her notifications like all the time. Like every day I did my makeup like hers. I dressed like her, and I just uplifted her and everything like that. And she used to like me, retweet me all the time. And then when I went to Fairfax, um, it was like a house show, and I took a picture, and she was like flexing on top, and she had it was against Natalia, and I took a picture, and I took a picture of her back, and how everybody calls her demon back or whatever. And I forgot what I headlined it, but everybody kept like taking my picture, and I was like, hey, I took this picture. I would like, the credit or whatnot. And after I was done doing that, I hopped off Twitter for like a minute or two, and then next thing I know, oh, sorry. And then next thing I know, my Twitter was like blowing up, and I'm like, okay. And so I happened to look on Twitter, and she took my picture and a picture of her, and posted it on her page, and it said beefcake, and I was like, Maria. Like I was like freaking out. I was like crying, and I was like, thank you, Rhea. Like, yes, you are beefcake. Like I was severely thankful for her for that, because that made, I was having a really bad day that day, and she made it like a whole lot better. And so I was like, thank you, Rhea. And ever since then, I've been trying to get her back, but the most I've gotten her on, which is the lives, which I'll take. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Exactly. So I mean, it's just a little small thing. I'm happy with it. Like, it means that much to me. So, um, yeah, I was really, really thankful for her for that. And even though that was like a couple years ago, I still think about it because it still means so much to me. So,
Yeah, I can relate to that. I joined Twitter. It was like 2011. Had maybe like 12 followers or whatever. Then I became a page fan in 2015. Then my Twitter just blew up after that. Like it went crazy. And then CM Punk's pipe bomb like made me like I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 4 or 5, so like 30 something years
mm.
now, close to 40. Cause I'm old. I don't look old, but I am old. And so I became a big Page fan, and then made all these friends on Twitter, and then it just kind of snowballed. CM Punk's pipe bomb brought me back to watching wrestling, I guess, religiously, like every day, like every Monday and stuff like that. Because I'd have it on in the background, wouldn't really pay attention to it, or I'd read the results on the internet, stuff like that. And then CM Punk's pipe bomb brought me back. Then I became a Page fan. That was another big thing. And then like being Becky Lynch fan. That you get some more friends after that, and then like Rhea
Mhm.
Ripley. Like the more your favorites, the more the people become your favorites, the more friends you make on social media because you find
Right.
like I made like a tweet about Rhea, and all I get now is like the algorithm or whatever for Twitter. It's like all Rhea stuff. So then, like, you
Mhm.
see people that post about Rhea, and you're like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. And then you become friends with them, and it just snowballs
Mhm.
from there.
Mhm.
So it's pretty awesome how that happens, and then you just happen to meet really cool people. There are a
Mhm.
bunch of trolls and things on the internet, but I mean, like, it's just like life. Not everybody you meet is a good person in life, so it's kind of a little microcosm of Twitter's a little bit of how life is. So
Mhm.
the good and
Mhm.
the bad, that's the good comes with the bad. So you're gonna meet bad people in real life, you meet bad people on the internet, and you'll have a little few bumps in the road, a little bit of potholes in the road, but then the road paves the way and it's kind of smooth there. So getting all
Mhm.
philosophical here.
Yes. That's why I'm glad I have my Twitter the way I have it.
Yeah.
Because it's the way I want it and how I like it. If there's somebody I don't like, I just block and move on. Block and
Yeah, and
move
then
on.
the terrible thing, like you said, I hate watermarking my pictures, like putting my at name, but you almost have to because people steal stuff all the time. I
Mhm.
had gone to Becky Lynch and Seth were in Houston for this thing called what was it called? Fandemic. It's kind of like the other stuff that goes on with fanatics and stuff, where they have a panel and there's a meet and greet and stuff like that. Well, I was at Becky and Seth's panel. I recorded the whole thing, and instead of watermarking it, I just threw it up on YouTube without, and people ended up stealing it and trying to say it was theirs. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make you take this down, and then I put, like, my at is at blue 70517. I put it huge, like it took the whole thing, and I stuck it back on YouTube. And people were like, well, we can't see because of your big watermark, and I was like, well, people stole it, so there you go.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
you have to, like, it I hate tagging stuff, but that's just the world we live in. People want to steal stuff and say it's theirs. It's
Mhm.
like, well, you got to do what you got to do. So it's still on YouTube. There's like three parts of the panel, and my name is like this big on it. And I was like, hey,
Yes.
that's what I'm good. That's what y'all made me do, basically. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yep. So I feel you there for the pictures, and people stole your pictures because that's naturally what they're gonna do.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
my last question before I turn it over to Remy. I'm sure you're pretty biased, but WrestleMania is next week, and we got Rhea versus Io versus Bianca. What you think's gonna happen?
Um, well, I had two predictions. Um, I predict that Io is gonna retain, and then it's gonna lead up to Rhea and Bianca's feud. And then my second prediction is that Rhea wins the title back, but then Bianca or either Io are gonna want a rematch again and try to get a title back, and it's just Rhea's just gonna end up, you know, winning it, and then or now I just came up with a third that if Rhea wins this title back, Io's gonna want another rematch, and that way that'll give Rhea a one-on-one singles match for her because she's never beaten Io one-on-one. And I read in the article that Rhea did today that she's been asking, her and Io have been asking for years to finally, Rhea to finally beat her on WrestleMania, one-on-one. So no, it's not one-on-one. It's a triple threat. I mean, I'm happy with that, but I would like to have seen Rhea and Io lift their potential up and give Rhea, the chance to beat Io Sky on a singles match. But I guess I'll have to see what they write out and just ride along with it.
Yeah, see how it plays out. I don't think they're gonna be done after WrestleMania. I think there's, like you said, there's still more layers to peel the onion. You know, there's still some stuff there. I don't think that
Yeah.
it's gonna completely be done. And then as you were talking, I was like, well, maybe I wonder if they'll do like two nights. You know, they have the triple threat, and then, but I was like, I don't know if they'll do that. Like, if EO retains, they'll have like a one in one, like EO and Rhea or something, or because there's still like there's a lot of layers still to go. Because you got Rhea and Bianca. I've been wanting them to wrestle each other. You know, it seems like it's kind of brewing to that. And then Rhea and EO, they've wrestled each other quite a bit lately, but
Mm-hmm.
Rhea has never won against Io, but I think at some point she might. So there's still a lot of stuff that could happen. We'll have to just wait and see, I guess, when WrestleMania comes next week.
Yeah. I'm ready for it. I already took off work and everything.
Well,
I'm
there you
ready.
go.
I'm ready.
Well, before I turn it back over to Remy to close out the show, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. You know, fellow Rhea Ripley fan, so gotta love it there. And happy early birthday on, you know, birthday's on Monday. Hope you have a good birthday and Monday treats you well, and hopefully Rhea gets that win at WrestleMania. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, thank you. And I appreciate for the opportunity of being here. I really appreciate it. It was really fun, guys.
Mami Berry, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedules to be on our show. We always enjoy talking to our fellow wrestling fans as well too. This is definitely a big. This show right here, 15 minutes of fandom. It's definitely a big part of what Ringside Society is, because who makes an event? The fans. Who can break an event? The fans.
Mm.
So thank you very much for taking time out to do this. We know you have a lot going on. Before we actually shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk about wrestling and the awesomeness that is Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton? If there are any Tiffany Stratton fans out there, which I'm sure there are, but we haven't met any yet. But where can we find you on social media?
I'm mainly on Twitter. I mean, I have a Facebook, but that's more or less my personal Facebook because I got family and stuff on there, and
Okay.
so mainly Twitter is where I mainly find my peoples, and if I actually have a good relationship with them, like like uh shoot, I think it's KK Crystals. Her name's Courtney. She is a she likes Bad Omens. I don't know if you guys heard of Bad Omens, but she does like phenomenal photography. Like she does really good. I actually have some of her pictures hanging up on my wall that she sent me. I mean, it's a picture of Noah Sebastian, which is the lead singer of Bad Omens, and
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can show you guys some of them. But she does like really phenomenal
Oh, nice.
pictures of him. Like
Wow,
these
that's
are,
cool.
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, I'd have to say this is one of my favorite ones that she's gotten. Is that
Wow.
one. And there's another one, but I have she always sends me prints because I love them. And I've always encouraged her to lift off her photography um career, which she has. And I actually have a calendar that she made out of the pictures she took. And she does amazing. Like, she is absolutely amazing. And every show that she goes, she finds some good prints, she sends them to me, and I'm just like, nice. And I am like, okay, now I gotta find a place for them. So I usually keep them in the envelope so I don't ruin them. And I eventually find a home for them. And that was actually my Christmas present from my husband of that picture frame and all those pictures of Noah Sebastian. So I was pretty happy. I became close with her. Um But yeah, I'd have to say Twitter is my main base.
Awesome. That's cool. So for those of you that are actually watching and listening, definitely go ahead and give this woman a follow. She's an awesome person. And hey, she might even teach you how to show you how to season some good food. I mean, I got problems sometimes too. You know, I put I'm kind of heavy with the seasoning at times. Last time I made jerk chicken, it was like jerk chicken to the point where you were like panting. What do you do? So some, you're probably better than me. But yeah, either way, follow this woman. She's very incredible. Huge Rhea Ripley fan. And it's always great to, find fellow wrestling fans as well too, because then you have something to talk about with somebody else too that, you may be the only person in your own household, and you'll be like, you want to talk to it with somebody, but they just don't understand. So it's always great to find somebody else who understands, and you can talk about with them and so on. So definitely give Mommy Berry a follow. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are not getting heavy, but SmackDown is on right now, and my stomach is rumbling. That means it's time to watch some SmackDown and to have some dinner. Um, in that order, at the same time. But with that being said, Kathy Knight, the Tennille to my Captain, the Money Penny to my James Bond, and the Pepper Potts to my Tony Stark. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to, talk wrestling, all things Becky Lynch, Soraya? I don't know if she's still going by Soraya, and Good Eating in Louisiana. Where you at on social media?
So you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Twitter, and what's the other one? I forget. Instagram. There we go. All at BLUE70517. It's been a while since I've done this. I can't remember.
Wow, that must have been a long while.
Well, I said it out of order. Usually it throws me off. So yeah, there you
It
go.
happens. That happens
But
to me too.
find me on most stuff at Blue70517.
Awesome. And if you want to find me on social media, now that I say a lot of cool stuff, but I do go to a lot of cool places. I'll be in Las Vegas hopefully next week and for WrestleMania, and then I'll be in Tokyo next month for my birthday, Tokyo, Japan. That is. If you want to see those adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Remy Blue. I am also on Twitch, actually. Not Twitch. I'm also on TikTok at the Remy Blue. You could find several of my videos there where I do reviews for restaurants and places to check out and tour and so on. And I'm also on Blue Sky at Remy Blue. .bsky.social. I'm also on Facebook as a Facebook. I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. And last but not least, we're also on not to forget actually, our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Blue Sky, Ringside Society.bsky.social. And we're also on Spotify. And we have a Teespring shop where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have, we're not tank tops yet, but we have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we also have coffee mugs, and we have 3 different designs right now. We're working on getting the 4th one up. And last but not least, we also have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the ones we've had with Annie from London, England. We recently had El Terrifico and his brother El Magnifico on our show. All those great interviews you could find on YouTube, and to see all of them, it's not rocket science. It's not even pre-algebra. All you gotta do is go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really good-looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1990. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling so good right now. Kathy, should I tell them what we have in store next week? Should I?
Do it.
All right. So next week, WrestleMania weekend, we will be doing our WrestleMania 41 predictions. That's right. On Friday, we'll be doing the predictions for WrestleMania Saturday, and on Saturday, before WrestleMania, we'll be doing the predictions for WrestleMania. No, 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 no. Hold on, I'm getting it wrong. For Saturday morning, we'll
So
do the
yeah,
predictions for WrestleMania Saturday.
So Friday is for Saturday and Saturday's for Sunday.
Okay.
But no, if I do it Saturday, I'm gonna. Okay, let's do it. Saturday morning is gonna be WrestleMania for WrestleMania Saturday because WrestleMania starts later on in the night, right? And then Sunday morning we're gonna do the predictions for WrestleMania Sunday. So
Okay.
we'll definitely do that. For those of you watching, make sure you join us. We haven't announced who our special guests are going to be for those shows yet, but we will let you know. And yeah, if you have any comments or predictions of your own, feel free to join us and post them in the comments section, and we will highlight them. With that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We really, truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to. And we're not going to stop being that. And to those of y'all that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really, truly wish we just go away and take our merch with us. Well, like myself at Golden Corral and Kathy Knight at Cafe Du Monde for the buy one get one free special, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know. It's no secret. We're aware. Everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. Well, we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for our special guest, Mami Berry. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And we'll be back next week, or maybe this weekend, I don't know, with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.
Let the
Bye.
good times roll, Louisiana. Bye.
Bye.